This fence we can stand back a little bit because that's the trouble of this fence is the visual of it. So this is a single fence, and you may say, well, what's so hard about this fence? I don't really see. It's an oxer, we see that, but it's the color of the pole, the stripe. That little white stripe that you see is very difficult for us as riders to see, and even harder for horses to judge. So basically, as you're riding towards that, so many times I've got to a distance that I think is one thing, and it ends up being something completely different because it's hard to read. So the difficulty with this fence is how it's put together. You got the brick walls with the holes underneath, which distracts the horse's attention towards the bottom. As a rider, it's very hard to read where my front rail really is to get my 3 feet away from the jump. So it becomes a difficult fence to read your takeoff spot. And this is not a lot, you don't have a count here. There's no counting stride. So this is something you gotta find on your own. So this is a rider's jump. You gotta help your horse jumping this by giving him the best distance possible, but this is really a rider's jump. You gotta find your way, but it's very difficult to see, especially with the way the sun is. The people in the first phase will have a hard time reading these poles. And you will see this, Leopoldo uses these stripes. There's red ones and there's blue ones, and for sure they will be used in the Nations Cup and in the Grand Prix somewhere. And the difficulty is the way, it's just that little white line just changes everything. So, long gallop to that again. We got a little bit of time allowed in our mind. It's a long run to it. And then it's left turn. Without a doubt, we will have to be short to it because of the time. We don't want to. So before we're even taken off from this oxer, I'm thinking left turn in my head. I don't want my horse to land thinking he's going over there. I want my horse to land thinking that this is where he's going next. It's very important to let your horse know where the next fence is in the air of the one you've just jumped. So here you come, left turn. Now look at the difference of this fence compared to the narrow brown skinny. This is an easy fence to jump. The color is easy to jump. The width of the fence is you know, you can jump right side, left side. This is the trick with this. It simply wants you to turn so short to make the time. But to me, there's never a gift on course. But this is for sure not one of the most difficult fences to jump. I know all the tricks of this ring, so I'm going to fill you in. I'm going to fill you in on some of the tricks that I know that you perhaps don't recognize it. So this is a plank. It's a very it's set on you can see the cups. The cups are reversed, so they're flat. There's no curve to it whatsoever. So the slight rub on this just comes down. So this is really careful. We have to respect that. Give it a lot of room off the ground. Let the horse jump. Also, if you look at the whole design of it, very difficult for a horse to judge where the top part of this fence is. Because you got the yellow line here which matches with that, and then black is not a color that they necessarily recognize. So this jumps makes a lot of faults. We're coming from far away, galloping for the time allowed. We need to give ourselves 3.5 feet of room to jump that, and then that's the difficulty. We cannot touch this fence. If you touch this fence and it doesn't come down, you're having a very lucky day.